It's called outsider art, as in outside the mainstream. Way, way outside the mainstream in Bob Justin's case. For the past 20 years, he's been one of the state's best-known and widely collected outsider artists. His whimsical mass, three-dimensional figures, finger paintings, and bronze sculptures have appeared in folk art galleries in New York City. Several of his pieces are on permanent display in the New Jersey State Museum in Trenton. The number one rule with outsider art is that there are no rules, and that seems to suit Justin just fine. The magic happens here at a studio on the grounds of the New Egypt Flea Market.
I describe myself as a self-taught artist. People call me found object artist. That's a fact, because I use found objects. But I also buy a lot of the objects that go into my art for a lot of money from antique dealers, because I like them. Something about them makes me challenged. And people say to me all the time, what is it? And I say, don't worry about what it is, worry about what it could be, you know. Pretty solid. There's one repair back here. In 1993, when I had a heart attack in 91, I had no money, and I started just scrounging around trying to make a buck. And I found objects were in the flea markets where I was. So that's what I gathered to me, the found objects. And I never tried to make an image or any kind of deity or anything like that. It's just all I wanted to do was give form to the images I saw in my head all the time. I see images in everything. Everything has another life waiting to be discovered. It's to find that piece I just made today, the blues. He was reborn. He was an inanimate object until he became reborn and became invigorated with a spirit. He's a person now. He's not an object. He's a spirit in me, and he's now come out of me into the form that he is hanging on the wall. And people don't understand that. They ask me, what do you dream about? And I say, I don't dream about anything. All my dreams are hanging on the wall.
Bob has undergone his own dramatic transformation. He tried the Marines, selling cars, selling houses, running his own executive search firm, to name just a few of his past jobs. But nothing made him happy. Nothing, that is, until he started making art.
I lived my entire life. I've had over 300 jobs. I've done everything but grow up and get pregnant. Everything else I've done. My whole life, up until 1991, was pure tension. It was survival. In 1993, I started making my guys, and that all went away. I became a different person. It was crazy. I didn't understand it. I don't understand it to this day. They ask me if I'm an artist. I don't feel like I'm an artist. I just like to make shit. It's what I do. I mean, to me, it isn't the question of how I do it. It's the question of how could I stop? How could I not do it?
Bob has battled poor health through much of his artistic career. Judging from his prodigious output, it doesn't appear to have slowed him down much, but he says these struggles have had an influence on his art.
When I was making my sculptures in the beginning, everything had a sense of humor. My happy moment was when people would walk in and just start laughing. I mean, they look at it and they say, what the hell is that? You know, that's funny. And they laugh at it, and I love that. But when I got sick, and when I had my lung surgery and heart surgery and got into facing my own mortality, all of a sudden I started making objects that were minimal. I didn't make as many, and sometimes I couldn't make any at all for months because I would be sick. But when I did work, it would be something that would be totally minimalist. A piece like this, that with very little in it. Old things, my little guy here, and her name is going to be Jessica. this is more important to me. You know, it's this. I'm enjoying it more now than I ever did.